Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawahshi, Bahashem Yahawahshi, Bahashem Rechakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out here pushing his truth and sincerity. The water for what y'all do. We love you. We appreciate you through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawahshi. Shalom to y'all. It's your brother Dawa died from the Great Millstone Camp in Atlanta. Lord willing to give you a fine lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawahshi, who the world ignorantly calls God. His name is Yahweh, meaning he is, or he exists, or he to be. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahawahshi, all right, meaning he is the Savior, or he is the deliverer. If you're watching this now and you are a so-called Black, Native American, or Latino man or woman, then you are a Hebrew Israelite, according to the Holy Bible. All right, you will not find Black, Native American, or Latino in the Bible, so we must figure out who we are. All right. All right. So Matthew 22. Now we're gonna start at verse 1, but the subtitle reads this: Parable of the Marriage Feast. So like this is showing you that the Bible is deeper than what you think. However, this stuff is still simple once you learn it, right? You have, complex understandings in here. However, it becomes simple when you actually learn it. You actually put the steps forward to actually learn it, And this is one of those things that can possibly be complex, right? You hear all these different religious peoples, all these different people in general on the outside who are looking in. They read the Bible and they say, one, it's a hypocritical book, or it contradicts itself. No, it's not that. Just you don't have the understanding. Right, so this is a kind of a parable, or deep saying, but it's pretty easy to understand. So, parable of the marriage feast. It says, and Yahawahshi answered and spake unto them again by parable, saying, because why? Yahawahshi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he's always speaking to his disciples in coded language, so that everybody else won't get it right then and there. But they'll get it, eventually when he puts it out there. But, for now, he wants only his disciples to understand it. All right? It says he spoke again by parable, saying and said, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son. And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Right, so you have to think about how you have, the Hebrew Israelites out there, really mainly the great millstone Hebrew Israelites. I'm just gonna say that because we have the 100% truth. There's plenty of other out there, but great millstone is the ones that are calling their people to be bid to the marriage, man. Physically, right? But our people don't want to listen. That's why it says, and they would not come, because 2/3 of our people are not going to listen. 2/3 of our people are going to be, here on Babylon, or either be put to death when those missiles come. Right? It says, again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready, coming to the marriage. That's us out on the highways and byways. We're the servants. We're in the highways and byways, and we're telling, which to be bid to marriage is also us. We're the Most High's woman, man. Right? I mean, Yahawahshi's woman. We're the Most High's children. We Yahawahshi's woman, and his servants. Hold on, let me see. All right, jump down verse 5. It says, but they made light of it. That one right there is it cuts, man. But they made light of it, right? And went their ways. One to his farm, another to his merchandise. So, we're telling y'all to do the same thing we're doing. serve Yahawahshi, or, but what do they do? You know, let me see. It says, and went their ways, one to his farm and another to his merchandise. And these people, they rather, take care of their households, or, well, you're supposed to take care of your household, but they want to put their household first before Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's not cool. All right. And they want to go. They gotta go tend to their business, or they want to go start businesses, or they want to go to college. All right. And what I'm saying, I'm not saying any of that stuff is wrong. What I'm saying is that you rather put that first and put the Heavenly Father on the back end and try to use him when you need him. That's not how this works, right? It says, and the remnant took his servants and entreated spitefully and slew them. I want to bring out a precept because Mepher is always trying to use him when he need him instead of doing any type of work or anything like that. This is Hosea, or listening and hearkening, in Hosea chapter 5 verse 15. It says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. So you're only going to try, call upon the name of the Lord when you need him. So you just think you're going to use them. And that's why the animal sacrifice was done away with. Because niggas were trying to abuse the system. Let's go back where we were at. And the remnant took his servants and treated them spitefully and slew them. But when a king heard thereof, he was wroth. He sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their city. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. And we have people that have been in this truth, but they've fallen out. We got people who heard this word, but shook their hand at us. Scoff, right? They talk mad-ish, on the internet. Try to get bros fired from their jobs and, publicly humiliate them and their families. It says, go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye find, ye shall bid to the marriage. So we out there on the corner, man. We out there in the highways and hedges, man. You see? We trying to get y'all to be bid to the marriage, man. If you don't accept it, that's on you. But there's something that comes at the end of that, so you be prepared. It says, go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as you shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went to the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests. It says both bad and good because you had people who, it might not have been as terrible as others, but we all fall short of the law. But you have some who they're murderers, gangbangers, drug dealers. But what happened, right? What happened? They were brought back. They were grafted back into this thing. They found out they were Hebrew Israelite and they listened. What happened, right? That's what happened. That's what it's like. It doesn't say people always, especially niggas, they always try to use that as an excuse. Oh, God said, "Come as you are," or "Come as you are." That's not. First of all, that is not in the Bible verbatim. But you hear things like this, and it says, those that they all came. It was those good and those that were bad that came. But those ones that were bad, they heard this word and they changed. That's the point. The point is to change. You're just coming because you're trying to you want to justify your actions and justify what you do. Oh, I come as I am. No, you're supposed to change. Yeah, he did accept people who did bad things, but they changed. The ones that didn't accept, he cursed them. He told the man that was on the cross, he said, "You should be in the kingdom with me." He had mercy on that man. You see, because that man was sincere. He actually sincerely wanted forgiveness. Can't just walk around doing what you want to do and be like, "I'm gonna be forgiven." Well, I know He's a forgiving power. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this pork chop sandwich. That's not right. You can't do that, man. You can't use him. Let me see. Yeah, both good and bad, right? It says, and when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment, and he said unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless, cause you're over here to be found not to be there. You ain't right, man. So you're gonna be found out to not be right, man. You see? It said, then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him to utter outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen. Right. So you got many in this thing who they might not take it serious, or they really don't want to be a part of this thing. And you see them bug out, and when they leave, them demons jump on them. Because they weren't really bid into the marriage, they weren't really supposed to be there. But the ones that those of you who hear this word and don't even try to get right, we're gonna put y'all to death, man. You don't. Things about to start happening where things get ramped up real soon. You just don't see it because you don't pay attention. But that's why it says what? That he shall come as a thief in the night to those types of people. You're gonna be getting caught off guard because you're not out here. You're not part of it. You know what I'm saying? You're part of the secret society that knows these things. Why? Because when you read what was it, Amos 3:7, man, he said what? He said, surely I will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. So we know things. These are secret things. That's why really we the real secret society, man. Because we're in the light, man. We're the real illuminated ones. Illuminati just means to be illuminated, man. To be the light, to be having understanding, while the rest are in the dark. But hey, Lord, one of you is edified. With that, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahawahshi, Yahawahshi, Bashem, Kakadash, double honor to our apostles, the elders, the great millstone, bear well, peace and blessing to the